All right, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to use EZDrummer, EZkeys, EZmix, and other Toontrack products on your Linux system. I'm using Linux Mint. Most of these things should be pretty easily translatable to Ubuntu and other Debian-based systems. Specifically, if you're using Flatpak, which I really enjoy using. Other resources we're going to be looking at today are bottles and flat seal, and let's go. So here I am on the page, my account and my products, right? So if we go my account, my products on the Toontrack product page, right? We're going to download it. We're going to assume a couple things for this video. You know how to download files, you know how to move around products on or files on your computer. Here we go. We're going to click download for Windows 10 or newer, right? And this is going to download a zip file. If you're new to installing products on your Linux system, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that today. Wait for that to download. Go ahead and exit out of that. And then as far as my downloads go, here we go. We've got EZdrummer. I drop that on the desktop so you don't have to stare at my file system, right? So I've got this zip file, right? What we want to do is make sure that this is extracted. So this goes for any product installation you're going to do, any software installation you're going to do on your Linux system. We're going to want to make sure we extract it, right? So I'm doing it on the desktops just so it's easy to see what we're looking at here. And now it gives me this file here, right? That's what we extracted. So on Linux, you're not going to be able to run an exe. On some distributions, Wine will be the compatibility layer that you use to install programs, and that may work out. For me personally, I found it most streamlined to use a program called Bottles, right? So if we look up on our software manager here, I know that the Genome Software Center and other places will have this as well. So you type in bottles. This isn't the easier way of running it, right? So this is bottles, okay? And I would go ahead and install this wherever you get your other Linux software from. You can also use the terminal like this. Sudo apt install bottles, or sudo flatpak install bottles. Okay, and it's going to ask you for your password and then ask you about the repository you want to use. You say yes, let it do its thing. Fantastic, right? So we're going to go ahead and assume that you've now installed bottles. It should not be a difficult process. The thing I would like you to do after that, to follow my method, would be to install Flatseal. Okay? In the same way that we installed bottles, we can check out Flatseal. Here's my software manager on Linux Mint. We can look up Flatseal. Okay? Or you can do the same thing through the command line. Bet you it's not going to show up, right? Yep. So that's a Flatpak only thing. That's goofy of me to have tried that, but we can go ahead and right, sudo flatpak install Flatseal. Okay, so either through your software manager or through the terminal. I will post in the description of this video links to each of these developers and pieces of software that we're going to use today, so it's easier for you to find. Okay, so we're going to assume that we have installed bottles and that we have installed Flatseal. Let's take a look at Flatseal really quick, right? So the reason we're using Flatseal in this order is Flatseal allows you to change permissions and what each individual Flatpak you've installed. So assuming you're using Flatpak, you've you're allowed to give more permissions to bottles. So I enable GPU acceleration, virtualization, shared memory, and this is just, it's a little bit more compatibility. It makes things work a little easier, I've found, while using bottles, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and go back to our file that we downloaded earlier, our EZdrummer. We're gonna hit click, and I've already set, when you click this for the first time after having installed bottles, it's gonna ask, the system's gonna ask if you wanna use bottles. So we're gonna go ahead and say yes. And it's going to say select bottle. Okay. So I want to create a new bottle for the purposes of this test. Okay. So click new, test 2, application, optimized for productivity software, right? I'd like to change the runner to wine. I typically find that most of the stuff that I'm doing with Windows programs, that works well for me. Use whatever else you would like at your own risk. Bottle directory default, for the purposes of what we're doing, we're going to say that that's good. Okay. And mind you, it would be best to install your Toontrack product manager first. It's not really going to change much of what we're doing here. But the cool thing is using Toontrack's product manager, you do get to have, oh, wrong one, here we go. Right, so we've created our test bottle. We're going to run an executable. Let's see, let's just do it from here. Let's go back. I'm going to hit this. Right? You're going to have your own bottle. We're going to hit test 2. Yep. And now we're installing. Okay, and just allow this to run its course. Say yes to whatever it asks you. This is all run in virtualization. Next, I accept. Nobody reads the terms and conditions, of course. And then after we've installed this, I'd recommend we go through and install the product manager. And if you've purchased other MIDI packs, EZXs, any other supporting programs and add-ons, go ahead and install that in the same bottle that you installed EZdrummer to. Okay. So what that ends up looking like is this. So this is my personal bottle that I've already set up for EZdrummer. So I went ahead and installed the Toontrack product manager, and that's going to have all of my personal MIDI information and all of the other things. Here is EZdrummer set up. And once those two are installed in the same bottle, all right, grab it, there we go. So once all of those things are installed in the same bottle, they can see each other, right? So we can go ahead and look at grooves, and you can see my add-ons, right? And they all work. Right? You can throw things in the MIDI reel. We can, well, here we go. Anyway. Right? So there we go. We've used bottles, and this goes for, I'm fairly certain bottles works with most distributions of Linux. So if my tutorial didn't help you because you use something else like Arch or Fedora, I would go ahead and find documentation as far as getting bottles installed, and making sure that bottles has the permissions to use your GPU and your other file systems to go ahead and to install this. So let me know if this was helpful. I appreciate it. Peace.